Welcome back to Vigor. It's your boy, Stealth Jet, leader of the JSS. So y'all know that I love my suppressed weapons in this game. Firstly, the VSS. But what's number two? Well, I'm about to play it for you right now. I love the MP5-K. I love this thing. And here's the thing with me, in any video game, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of insight on me. If there's anything that is considered to be weak, considered to be not meta, something that players don't go for because it's quote unquote not competitive, I'm gonna choose that object, choose that strategy, choose that weapon, and I'm gonna master it, and I'm gonna try to beat other people with said weapon, object, tactic, whatever it is, right? That's why in Mortal Kombat 10, if any of y'all are familiar with Mortal Kombat, Liu Kang Duelist was rated number 97 out of 100, but I still play him because he's fun and I like what he does. Now, I know how to play Hellfire Scorpion, right? And to some extent Tremor, but I like playing Duelist because he's considered to be low tier. See what I'm saying? So, what I consider to be the meta weapons in this game right now are the SVU on full auto and the Vigor F1. That's the meta, right? But given the SVU is a meta weapon, but it's also a suppressed weapon, I don't use it as often. I don't. Because I'd rather use a VSS, if not a ZA M76. Given the ZA M76 not suppressed and it doesn't have a full auto option, but it hurts, right? It hurts. Now, I'm gonna go into why the VSS and SVU are different, but let's continue forth with this encounter. So as you can clearly see, we spawn here on Battery Snow Death, and I bought out the MP5, right? So, all I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to loot. All I'm trying to do. Not trying to disturb anybody, trying to get my stuff, trying to leave. As we hear gunshots go off to my left. Now, according to the team screen at the very beginning of this encounter, we had 2 trios and 1 solo player. Who do you think I'm most afraid of? If you said the teams, you're wrong. That solo player can be anywhere, watching anybody, and catch somebody off guard, including me. That's all I'm not worried about. It's easy to spot a team, but it's really hard to spot a solo player. And now I get pinged. So, what does that tell me? That tells me I need to freaking be careful. I need to be really careful because that team probably killed the other team, if not another player. So, I need to stay on my toes. I need to stay out of sight. My objective is still to loot. But here's how PSDs work in this game. You don't use a PSD unless A, you're trying to spot somebody at the very beginning of the match, not recommended, looked down upon by me. B, if you killed somebody and you want to make sure you're not about to get killed yourself while looting the body, which is what happened just now. And C, if you just want to know where people are at. And you see right here, my objective has changed. Because I feel like somebody's about to come from that direction. It's been a while. And so I relocate. But then I think I see somebody over the ridge. So, I get pinged once again. Yeah, they definitely see me. Place a transmitter right here. Relocate. Things about to get tense. I'm pretty sure it's just me and that trio. And somebody uses the detector. So now they know. They know if they counted the people in the encounter, there shouldn't be 2 dots left. Because if they killed that one solo player in the entirety of that 3-man team, they should know one of these is a transmitter and the other is an actual person. So my transmitter play might not have worked if and only if they are smarter than the average player. All I can do now is keep running and keep trying to not get detected. Literally, this game, this encounter right here, feels like Metal Gear Solid. That's what it feels like. Now, I haven't played Splinter Cell, even though I do have the original Splinter Cell on my Xbox right now. But I would assume Splinter Cell feels somewhat like this as well. Like I said, all I can do is avoid detection. I can use their... Now see, who are they shooting at now? Are they shooting at a random bush? Or are they shooting at that solo player that I was worried about? If they're shooting at that solo player, then that's good. That's good, because that means I ain't gotta worry about him. But look, I can't find out. Because if I use a detector, what are they gonna do? Rush straight over here to the detector. Now this sounds like a whole team encounter, so maybe they killed the solo player at the very beginning. And so, I thought about placing a transmitter up here. I thought about it. Because if they kill somebody, what are they gonna do? Use their PSD, right? But something says to hold off. Hold off. Wait for a moment. Come up here, go prone, and I watch. And then I relocate. Because I like to watch the teams fight other teams, but I don't want to be too close, so I relocate back here. And then my blood starts to boil. Because they're going to be heading straight this way. I know they are. One down. One tally added for my mission. Now, I'm thinking, I see somebody right there. Yep, right there. Mortar strike? Call it in. Call it in. Do I hit anything? Yes, I do. But while he's stunned by the mortar strike, I run. I run. The smoke is giving me a tactical advantage. Tactical smoke screen, right? Now check this out. I know he's probably going to use a detector. He probably is. So place a transmitter right next to it. Makes sense, right? Because then he'll start shooting at a tree or panicking at a tree. And so I relocate, keep moving. But he throws his own mortar strike. At what? I have no idea. Remember, the teams killed each other. So I don't know why he threw that mortar strike just now. I don't know why he called that in. Now, I'm setting up right here because I want to know if he's going to cross this field. That's what I want to know. And so I keep moving. Because he's going to have to either cross this field or get pretty much behind a gun battery and come around it and sneak up on it. In any case, I should have eyes on him. I should. But I really want him to use that detector because then he'll be fooled. But look, I killed one person out of 3. So now his buddies have an extra pair of eyes. So I gotta be real careful. Gotta be real careful. And I don't like walking on a flat surface because that's pretty much death. If anybody knows how to aim and you walk on a flat surface, yeah, you're gone. You are gone. All I can do is watch and wait. I see the body that I killed, and I'm probably going to go for it. But they use a detector as planned. Wonderful. Now, keep moving. Keep moving. They've seen me, my position up there in that gun battery. They don't know if I'm underneath it or on top of it. So that's another layer of guess for them to work through. That body doesn't have anything in it. But this one does. Go prone, loot it. What do I find? An SG-1. Okay, nice. Now, in another mortar strike, I may need that too. Take all the ammunition for the SG-1. And now Santa Claus had already passed by, like who actually cares? So, SG-1 on my back. MP5, 2 clips of ammunition, and some in the chamber. Now, keep moving. I think right here, I can bait them out by hitting a car park and letting them stay over here, and I can take the exit on the other side of the map. Objective worked, but little did I know, they were closer than what I expected. Now, if you want to leave because you've seen the combat, I completely understand. I completely understand. But if you want to stay, I got 3 things I want to talk about. Number 1, how I handled that entire thing, that entire engagement. Number 2, how to use the MP5-K, which is the main title of this video. Number 3, why the VSS and SVU are 2 completely and totally different weapons. Okay, so number 1, I handled that situation by isolating my opponents. You seen, I killed that one dude while he was away from his team. Second guy, I killed him because his teammate was behind him. I don't like getting shot at from multiple people at multiple times. You know what I'm saying? So if you can kill one person, not the team, and the other 2 people aren't, around, then you're doing everything right, in my opinion. Okay? Now, the last part of number 1 is going to tie into number 2. I had to keep baiting them out into the open. And here's number 2. The MP5-K is deadly accurate, but here's a trade-off. The shell velocity and the shell damage, not shell velocity, this is not a tank, bullet velocity and bullet damage are really slow. Not quite as slow as the VSS, but they're quite slow. So with that being said, if you can master the bullet velocity of the MP5, you can land headshots on people because it's so accurate at far range. You know what I'm saying? So if you go back and rewind that entire engagement, I had to keep running away to bait them out in the open to where they'll be running on somewhat of a flat surface and I can predict where they're going to go. If you can lead the target and lead it to where their head is going to be within the next maybe a second, maybe 3/4 of a second, you can land headshots. The MP5 is really fun to use. You just have to know, number 1, how to aim, and number 2, where to aim. Because anybody can place a crosshair on somebody's body as they're running. But with a suppressed weapon, especially a suppressed weapon, you're not going to land any hits. You're not. And yeah, there's no one else here. I just want to double check. So that's why I kept having to run away and bait them out in the open, because I was not going to hit them behind cover. They had the advantage behind cover. They had actual weapons with no suppressor on them and faster bullet velocity. And I had to evaluate what cover was good. You seen at that last encounter, I was behind a rock aiming at that guy and he had an H-bar-T shooting at me. That was not going to work out. It wasn't, because H-bar-Ts are also accurate, but I'm behind a rock. That's not going to work out. I had to keep bidding him out into the open. Now, the VSS pops up, and guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to trade it in. Which brings me to my third point. VSS versus SVU. Why do all the try-hard players, all the sweaty players, go for the SVU on full auto and not the and not the VSS? Range. That's the reason why. The VSS is deadly up close. If you want an example of that, I already posted a video about how to use the VSS. The VSS is deadly at close to mid-range, but far range, it's not very good unless you can get a headshot, and the scope is perfect for doing that. It is. I didn't mean to hit that phone just now. The scope is perfect for landing headshots with the VSS, but you got massive bullet drop and very slow bullet velocity. The SVU is good at all ranges. That's why the SVU is preferred over the VSS. Now the VSS will kill you in exactly 2 hits if you're close. But with the SVU, it will take 2, maybe 3. Because the SVU has 43 base damage, while the VSS has like above 70 or something ridiculous like that. That's why people choose to use the SVU instead of the VSS. You know what I'm saying? So, if you stayed to hear me go on about those 3 very important points, I thank you. And now I came out of that one alive. 3 headshots in a team encounter, 7.4k XP. This right here, I know it's the start of the new year. It is. But this is the best encounter I've played all year long. And no, I'm not talking about 2022. I'm talking about 2021 as well. And that's saying a lot, because usually I would have died in that whole thing. But I stuck to my weapon strengths. And let me recap. What are the MP5-K strengths? Well, great rate of fire, deadly accurate at far range, and being able to be pinpoint accurate as somebody's moving. Now, if you move and you try to fire, I mean, yeah, you get a little bit of bloom, but it's not a lot. But I had to use my weapon to my strengths. And I had to use the enemy team's, I guess, let's go kill them mentality to my strength as well. And so I hope you have learned something from this video. I really hope you have, because like I said, this is probably the best encounter I've played 2021 and 2022. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in... Oh, wait a minute, I got the reward. Let's go. I'll catch you in the next episode. Until next time, peace.